Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. And today we are gathered here for your February month ahead forecast. Just a reminder, if you are looking for more specific content as far as readings go, please feel free to book with me. I would absolutely love to connect with you one-on-one. That is part of my life's purpose, and it is work that I enjoy probably more than anything else is one-on-one services. So I will leave the links for all of that down below if you are interested. But let's take a look at our groups we have before us. As you can see, I have all of my hearts out. I think we had a lot of hearts in the last reading too, so seems pretty on par. Each group does have a different feather here, so I will let you have a look at each one. Here is the feather for group number 1. And the crystal, these are all labradorite, just different sizes and different types of flash. This one's little, but the flash is really cool. Okay. And for group number 2, here is your feather. And here is your labradorite crystal. And get a good look at the flash in there. And for group number 3, here is your feather and your labradorite heart. Here's the flash. My kitty cat is very excited. Sorry if you hear her yelling from the other room. That one has a very gentle flash to it, but really pretty veining. Anyway, please feel free to pause here and take a moment with these groups. Take as much time as you need. I feel like lots is going to come through about different types of love, of course, since we are talking about the month of February. So please keep that in mind and listen to which group your heart is being called towards. Feel free to scroll down and click on the timestamp to fast forward you to your reading, and I will see you there. All right, group number 1, if you chose this first labradorite crystal with the super cool flash here, let's go ahead and get your messages for the month of February. I do want to, since we will be connecting to the heart, I do want to ask for your permission to connect with your energy for the duration of this reading. If that is a yes, please feel free to stay tuned and cozy up, I wanted to say, so I hope that you are comfortable and just sipping on your beverage of choice and ready to take a look at your month ahead. So let's start with your feather messenger. And for you, we have Condor. Hold the highest vision for your life. You now possess the ability to move past any hurdles. The condor is definitely sacred in the type of shamanism that I studied. So very significant there. The direction of the east may be significant for you as well. And eagle condor is connected to my heart chakra. So you are definitely receiving a lot of signs and synchronicities lately. So if that hasn't already been showing up for you, get ready for it to show up for you. The condor's wingspan is incredible as well. So I feel this huge sense of expansion for you. So maybe your perception about something is really, I just feel like there were walls that have been broken down recently, whether it's what you thought was possible in your life or in relationships for yourself. It just feels like you are on top of a mountain now and you are able to just see so much further than you were allowing yourself to see before. I also feel we're moving out of a period of survival for you as well. So there's this sense of like cleaning up the rest of 2022 and you're ready for a brand new start. So this is beautiful. This is like the full kind of energy, like a fresh new start for you, but it's hitting you in the month of February actually. So very interesting and exciting message for you. Let's get a couple of these cards for you. I love these to kind of summarize what themes we're going to be looking at for the next month. So for group number 1, Spirit, Right. I'm also getting a sense of like friendship and focusing on friendship. So, if that is something that you have been working on manifesting, your spirit guides, angels, and ancestors want to let you know that they are hearing you and they are aligning you to your divine friendships for this month. Okay, so first out for you, we have victory. Oh my gosh, number 35. I shall celebrate, I shall rise. I will let victory make me wise. We also have healing, number 29. Candle flame, burn this hour. Bring to me your healing power. I feel like you have surmounted an incredible challenge, group number 1. And it probably has to do with some matter of the heart, so some type of relationships. But it just feels like it has to do with your perception of relationships. I know that sounds a little odd, but stick with me here. It just feels like there is, I'm going to turn this music down a little bit, but it just feels like there was a long-standing pattern. It could have been self-worth or something very deep like that, imposter syndrome, that has taken quite a long time to be healed. Quite a long, long time. You're finally in the element of spirit. When I say that, I mean you've healed physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So you are mastering this lesson. I just want to let you know this is something that you've worked on for a very long time. And I'm seeing victory coming in for you in the month of February. And look, the condor is looking directly at victory. So the healing is incorporated. And now we're ready for victory. So let's take a look at your tarot for the month and see what kind of dynamic is coming through. Very overwhelmingly positive messages for you so far, group number 1. That's awesome. I also just got 222 or repeating 2s, so be on the lookout for repeating numbers, especially 2s. Okay. Group number 1. We have for you the Page of Cups. The 8 of Swords. I've been getting that card a lot lately, so don't worry. And the 8 of Coins. Wow, repeating numbers right away, right there. 8, 8. Okay. At the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Coins. So lots of stability and mastery energy forming around you at this time. You're really mastering the physical realm of Earth. So like job, money, where you live, your car, possessions, things like that. That could be where we're starting to see a lot of victory this month. But let's focus here. So in the middle of the read, we have the 8 of Swords, and this is a card of self-limiting beliefs. So that's kind of confirming the message that came through earlier about imposter syndrome or self-limiting beliefs when it comes to relationships. So it could be the belief that I'm not attractive, or I'm not lovable, or I'm meant to be alone, I guess. And it's odd because this is, I mean, a typical reading of this would be self-imprisonment, but that's just such like a harsh word. I almost hesitated to say that at first. There is a safety though in staying here. You know, she can get up and she can stand up and leave at any point, but there's something about those beliefs that is, it's giving you a sense of protection, but it's not true protection. So I hope that's making sense. Flanking this energy of just feeling stuck, but the good news is it's absolutely fixable and it's going to be lifting in the month of February. We have very hard work that has led you down the path of victory. And then we also have the Page of Cups, which is this beautiful, playful, kind of charming energy. And it feels like you are stepping into that actually. So it could be that when people are around you and observe you, they get this kind of magical, mystical feeling. They just want to be near you. The Page of Cups is someone who's playful, charismatic, very sweet, very intuitive as well. So if you are not observing messages yourself, you're probably going to be delivering them to other people, and that's due to this immense healing that has taken place for you, emotional healing. It just looks like the last final piece of this huge healing cycle you've done with interpersonal relationships, group number 1, is this little lingering imposter syndrome. This is something I struggle with a lot. So I feel for you. It does bubble up sometimes. And I'm happy to report that it looks like that is going to be lifting this month. So you will see some relief and be able to expand your perception past what is immediately right in front of you. And again, your guardian angels, your spirit guides are giving you a pat on the back for all of your hard work. It just feels like you have put in the hours. You have been grinding through a routine, even in the midst of this difficulty. That really says a lot about your character. You have never slacked on work or getting your things done. You are just so dependable, group number 1. And that's extremely valuable. I feel like that's easy for you to overlook, but that's, I would say it's getting more rare, and it's extremely valuable in a friend, a partner, a family member, everything, a fellow human. So let's see what kind of guidance is around you this month. It feels like we are really focusing on self-love for you so far, and the way you view yourself within relationships. So that seems to be the type of love we're focusing on for the month of February. We already have the snake coming out for you, shed old skin, absolutely. The snake is an ancient healer, so that's perfect. Who else do we have guiding group number 1 through this month? Besides the snake and the condor. Oh, we had a card kind of fall down here. Let me see if I can get it. And we have the Lord. Take charge with authority. The Lord can also come out when it's time to tell the truth about something. And it looks like this might have to do with work or a type of environment where you are used to just focusing and getting tasks done. So where you typically are unemotional, it feels like in the month of February, there is a moment, and it's going to be very clear, where you are going to have to tell the truth and be kind of brave and vulnerable, but in a way that's very beautiful. So it's not necessarily like some huge, awful confrontation or anything like that. I don't want you to think that. But more of an invitation to speak your truth and reveal more of who you are to people around you. Yeah, so not only are we really sitting in self-love and self-development this month for you, but also allowing friends and colleagues to get closer to you. It feels like there's a lot of people who are very intrigued by you and attracted to your energy, but feel like they can't access you. Does that make sense? So maybe you're a bit removed when you're in a professional environment, or maybe you're just more reserved in general, and there's nothing wrong with that. Definitely not a critique, but it feels like you are going to choose to allow people to get a bit closer to you this month. And with this victory card up here, it could be that you have a lot to share with other people. So you're feeling good. You're feeling way more yourself than you have been the past few months. You're back, baby. You are back. Okay, let's get some final advice for you for group number 1. How to best usher in and welcome this energy of healing and victory, and how to release this lingering imposter syndrome that keeps bubbling up a little bit. Advice for group number 1. Okay, this one wants to come out. We have emotions are running high, supermoon. yeah, I feel like maybe that's not typically what you experience. So if that bubbles up, there might be a reaction like, oh my gosh, I need to get a hold of that, control that. But it feels like it's just, yeah, it's a cycle. It's like old skin being shed. So just allow yourself some grace if you need to cry sometimes, even though that is not typical for you. I feel group number one, you just feel more logical, very grounded in the earthly realm. This is huge. This is a huge, huge, huge healing cycle that you are cleaning up. And sometimes there's just an emotional purge. So please just allow yourself some grace and be patient with yourself if you do need to cry. What else for group number one? We also have meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. Ooh, and that sat over the victory card. So I feel like it is time to recount all of the good things you have accomplished. I feel like you have a tendency to just go and go and go and go and not really celebrate the things that you've done and surmounted and created. And it's things that are really worth celebrating. You are worth celebrating because you exist, but you are such a powerful force, group number one. And I feel like you're just used to just going. You just have this momentum and you just keep it moving. But February is a time for you to slow down a little bit and remember all of the, like, not impressive, like in a monetary way, but it might be. And I mean, you feel pretty intelligent as well, but it's like, it's not an ego thing, is what I'm trying to say. It's like, you know, I did that. I really did that. And I survived that and I thrived through it. I feel like it's time to recognize yourself a lot more. So I hope that's making sense. I hope I'm not, that felt like it came out kind of harsh, but I'm definitely rooting for you and celebrating you. I hope you can feel that, group number one. All right. Last piece of parting advice for group number one. We have for you, bring love into the situation, new moon in Aquarius. If we aren't already in Aquarius season, I feel like we're about to be in it. So you could have a significant Aquarius placement. Also, Aquarius is a lot about friendship. So again, confirming that message that if you are ready, if it feels good for you, that friendships, allowing people to get closer to you, is definitely for your highest good this month. We also have two new moons here. So again, it's like Spirit is exalting this message of a brand new start for you. All right, so those were your messages if you chose group number one with this first Labradorite heart crystal. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time and energy, group number one. I hope that you are appreciating yourself as well. Definitely getting in that work-life balance. I'm sending you tons of love and grounding energy, and I will see you very soon. Okay, and so for group number two, if you chose this Labradorite heart crystal, let's get your messages for the month of February. I will put your crystal up here, and then let's get started with your divine feather messenger that you chose. And we have the white owl. The wisdom and messages of the divine are within you. Ooh. I also feel like with the owl, you might be taking a look or experiencing rather a third eye expansion. So you might be having really vivid dreams, or your imagination might be on fire, or if you experience spirit messages, maybe you are starting to see either in your mind's eye or in the clairvoyant channel rather, or even physically in the space. I don't know. It just feels like something with the third eye is being opened a lot. I'm also getting something with the sinuses. So if you are having that issue, Sweet Pea is stopping by. All right, kitty. Right, sorry about that. We are back. I just had to gently move her to a better place in the room. She might be back though. But kitty cat energy is definitely around you, group number 2. And for kitty cat energy, for that, that often means to me companionship, emotional intelligence, generosity, love, healthy boundaries. So all good things coming to you so far, group number 2. Let's take a look at some more themes that you're going to be seeing for this month. It also feels like your vision is clearing. Like we did have that interruption. I feel like maybe you are being interrupted when you're trying to complete a task or make a vision board, for example. And it feels like this month, you're going to be able to make more progress than before. I know that we did have a lot of retrogrades and now everything is direct. So seems like we're all going to be having a pretty good time here for the next little bit. So definitely, if you haven't already, absolutely get your vision board out, manifest your stuff. Okay, we have for you energy number 13. A light inside my fire divine, energy fill me, make me shine. We also have for you courage number 17. By shining brave and true and bright, my courage now returns this night. Look at all your violet as well. I feel like working with the violet flame would be extremely beneficial for you. If that's not something you already do, definitely take a look at that violet flame. And so not only are we focusing on the third eye here with the white owl as a divine messenger, clarifying that channel for you, also your crown is very, very activated this month. So definitely something to be aware of. So those downloads that you're getting, your dreams, absolutely pay attention to those, group number 2. Very important stuff is coming through for you. Courage and energy. I just keep getting clear sight, clear knowing. So like the clairs are definitely coming in. So it could be that you're new to this or taking on a new type of spiritual language. For example, if you typically channel or you just know, as far as communicating with spirit, maybe in February you're starting to see more or hear more. It just feels like you are realigning your energy after kind of a shift, and then refocusing on what you want for the year. And it feels like you're going to kind of go for something. Like maybe something that you've been dismissing so far in the year in January, like, oh, I don't have time for that. I don't have the resources for that. Maybe in February you're like, maybe I do. Maybe I can get some. So let's get some tarot on the table and clarify what type of dynamic you will be dealing with. The month of February, group number 2. There is a scattered feeling, I will say, so I feel for you. That is difficult to work through, but something to take a look at, just as far as like calling your energy back to you. So just saying affirmations like, I reclaim my energy and my self-power from all sources that no longer serve me. Maybe take a look at like cord cutting exercises or even having like an energetic healer work with you. It does feel scattered and like we need to kind of hone you in just a little bit and tighten up your aura so that you're nice and bright and shiny and safe. Look at that. Perfect timing with the 4 of coins, keeping yourself safe. Oh, I typically don't stop at every single card, but that's perfect. I mean, look at that. I had just said maybe you were doubting whether you had the funds to do something earlier this year. And now I feel like you're having the courage to reassess your savings. And it's kind of like risk management. You know what I mean? It's like, so if you're planning a big trip, it's like, how big do we want to go? And so I feel like you're weighing your options. And it feels like somebody in spirit is pretty excited that you are willing to do that. So absolutely something coming through about travel and vacation for you. And I feel like you're going to start planning that out in the month of February. We also have for you the King of Coins, beautiful stability. We also have the Queen of Swords. We have counterparts here. And then we also have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, it does seem like there's some worry placed over here in the future position. There's this feeling of maybe you get these psychic downloads, maybe you receive a ton of messages about having more than enough to meet your needs financially, traveling, having exciting experiences, making a courageous leap of faith. I feel like you've been getting those messages for a while, but here you are in the Queen of Swords. You're like, absolutely not. We need to be very logical and calculated about this because it just feels like you're worried about like some type of emergency or something. So maybe you've worked on an emergency fund and you don't want to drain that. And I'm not saying that that is the answer, but it does feel like maybe there's more of a happy medium that we could strike for you, because it just feels like you're really restricting yourself as kind of a way to protect your future self. So over here with the King of Coins, I feel like there's a person around you who could be very helpful in regrounding your energy. And I don't want to take away from you over here as the Queen of Swords. You are funny, you're so smart, and you get things done almost like no one else. You tell the truth when it's hard, you hold boundaries, but it just feels like we could use more moderation with that, if that makes sense. So a King of Coins type of character wants to help you take care of yourself and maybe even travel with you, maybe even help you plan this trip. So the King of Coins is someone who has mastered the suit of money, of pentacles. So this could be a very savvy business person, someone who has substantial savings, understands the importance of it, but also spends it freely because he knows that he will make it back like that. The Queen of Swords is used to doing everything on her own, so that's kind of why she is the way she is. But it feels like there's kind of a balancing act between you two. And I actually want to get one more tarot card to clarify this relationship here between the King and the Queen. To clarify the dynamic here, Spirit. Oh, and we have 10 of coins. Wow. This is someone that you could have a legacy with. So I feel like we are talking about your partner, group number 2. And if they do not enter the picture by February, it feels like the divine is setting things up for you to meet in February. So definitely keep that in mind because this is someone who could help heal your relationship with the physical and with money specifically. Money is not a problem for this person at all. And I'm not implying that it is for you. It just feels like you have always been thinking 10 steps ahead and preparing for 10 steps ahead because that's what you've had to do. And this person really wants to alleviate that. The King of Coins is a great, great person, great dad as well. right. Let's see what angels and ancestors are going to be with you for the month. Group number 2. Moving closer towards and aligning with your divine counterpart here, the King of Coins. Okay, this Lord is wanting to come out all over the place. I'm going to see if he comes back because he didn't completely flip over. Okay. Goodness gracious, you have a lot of spiritual support. This deck is going crazy for you. So we have the Moon. Take note of intuitive messages, absolutely. I love that for you with the Owl. We also have Stargazer. Set your sights higher. Yeah, I feel like that's exactly what this king is wanting to help you do. He's wanting to help you see what is possible. When you allow yourself to embrace what you have. And even with this telescope, I feel like that's another connection to you always looking into the future. That could be why the owl showed up as well. It just feels like your sight, your perception is so sharp. You truly are able to anticipate things like on a logical, spiritual, mental, and emotional level, and even physical at times as well. So you're just very prepared. You are a prepared queen, okay? And you've had to really protect that at times. You've really had to hold boundaries, and that's wonderful. But it feels that meeting this king, aligning to this king, if you haven't already, I feel like maybe some of you have, it's just really going to soften your energy in this beautiful, beautiful way. It feels like you just feel safe with this person. You feel safe to embrace your gut feelings. Maybe you've been in a situation before or even a relationship before where those feelings were diminished quite a bit. Maybe even like divine feminine cycles were diminished as well. I feel like maybe you were not honored in the way that you needed to be, and you were able to cut that off. But this is going to be totally different, okay? Totally, totally different. And with courage and energy, it just feels like Spirit is saying, just please consider maybe the possibility of meeting a partner. As usual with all of these messages, if you're not ready, that's okay. Spirit is not going to force you to fall in love with somebody. You can, they'll place somebody there. But if you're like, no, not yet, that's okay. This is a co-creation. So I just don't want you to feel like you're like at the mercy of this message. So please don't feel like that. Okay, let's get some parting advice for you, group number 2, for the month of February with your divine counterpart coming in, or at least their energy coming in. A great exercise you could do, a dear friend of mine just told me about this the other day, is that you could meditate, connect to the universe, your spirit guides, guardian angels, and ask to feel your divine's energy. And then see if you can tap into that vibration. It might make it more clear when you meet your person because they've allowed you to feel that energy before, like in advance. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like smelling a cologne or a perfume that you are familiar with. So that's coming through for some of you. All right. Parting advice for group number 2. Okay. We have for you, what do you need to release, waning moon? Take time to breathe out, disseminating moon. Yeah, I just feel like you're able to relax this month in a way that hasn't been possible leading up to this point. And then lastly, we have your hard work is paying off. Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. don't know if I acknowledged this out loud, but your angels and ancestors, the moon and the stargazer, are both like astrological out of this deck, which isn't particularly astrological. There's a lot of earthy imagery on it. So I feel like you are very connected to astrology and planetary movements at this time. So if you are into that, please take a look. I feel like it's helpful to know how these things are impacting you through the month of February. But absolutely allow yourself to take a break, entertain the idea of possibly taking a vacation this year. You absolutely deserve it. You've been working so hard, so hard. And I think that I'm hearing like self responsibility, like the sense of duty. Like it is my job to make these things happen. And it feels like with the, with the white owl in the background here, it's more of a yin energy, it feels to me. That's the way I'm connecting to the owl right now. Very perceptive and allowing things to come to her, to cross her eyesight. You know what I mean? And then when she moves, she does so swiftly and silently. She does not waste energy flapping her wings unnecessarily. So it just feels like the way you are conserving your energy in the month of February is very beautiful and strategic. You're preserving yourself, you're taking care of yourself, and making room for this beautiful relationship to flourish and manifest for some of you with your King of Coins. So those were your messages. If you chose group number 2 with this labradorite crystal, it's actually, you can see the flash more when it's, yeah, there we go. But I was like, let's get a little focus on there. All right, thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you tons of love and light, and I will see you next time. All right, and let's round things out with group number 3. If you chose this labradorite crystal, it's kind of the most gentle of the 3 choices. Let's go ahead and get your messages for the month of February. Just connecting with your energy, of course, if I have your divine permission to do so. For those of you who have chosen this group, I just feel this sense of divine peace around you. It feels comfortable. It feels like I can relax. So I hope that you are feeling that, because that is the energy that we are tapping into for your month of February. Let's take a look at your feather messenger. We have Robin. That's one of my favorites. New growth and potential is on the horizon. Reach out and embrace it. It's so interesting, combined with that very low key, very relaxed energy that I was connecting to initially. But it could be that you are relaxing and allowing a new opportunity to find you. And we all know that the robin is an opportunistic bird. They're always out there looking for worms and singing a beautiful song. So you're definitely meant to be seen. However, I still feel like maybe you are conserving some energy or resting a lot in the month of February. Let's get deeper into your reading and see what other types of energies that you are going to be dealing with overall. So for group number 3, Spirit, what else are they going to, or rather, these are more like thematic cards. So what type of themes will they be seeing in the month of February? And we have for you Psychic Protection number 40. Around me now, a shield of gold, protecting me, strong and bold. And, oh, love, number 1. Oh, wow. I feel like some of you just went, yay, like you're excited. Aphrodite, I call to thee to bring a true love here to me. Okay. This is my pile who is manifesting a brand new partner. That is super clear. You definitely have your sights set on love. And of course, the month of February, since we have Valentine's Day, that does call that energy into your awareness. So it just feels like it's very much on your mind. Your little robin is pointed towards love. But it feels like you're wanting to be quite cautious about the type of love that you call in with the psychic protection. So please know that you are divinely loved and protected, but they are also acknowledging the growth within you. And it just feels like you are being very specific about the way you want to feel in a relationship and the way you want to feel recognized and treated and honored and valued. And you're saying no thanks to similar situations you've been through in the past. So it's almost like there could be some familiar characters that show up for you. You're like, oh, no thanks. No, I already did that, and I didn't love that. I would like to do something else where I feel more honored and recognized for who I truly am. I love that. Okay, let's get some tarot on the table and take a look at the dynamic that you will be dealing with in the month of February. I'll be interested to see if any people come out in the tarot. I did just hear kiss a few frogs to find your prince. So it could be that you start to see people, but I don't feel like it's going to be the first person that you have coffee with or that you meet at the grocery store. It could be like the fourth person, you know what I mean? And it's not like you have to date these people hardcore. I feel like you will know pretty quickly whether this is the opportunity you want to pursue or not. The robin is very focused, and the robin knows what it wants. So I feel like that is so you in the month of February. So good for you. This is very clear intentions, the clearest intentions I've felt so far out of all the groups. So that must be something you have really worked on. Okay. Group number 3. We have for you the Fool. Perfect. New growth and potential, taking a leap of faith with the Fool. We also have the 6 of Coins, giving and receiving, balance. We have the 7 of Cups. You've got options on the table. I feel like maybe you'd be more comfortable if you did not have options. It almost feels like maybe you've asked the universe or spirit guides or God or, however you think of your higher power. I feel like you've almost asked them before, can you just pick for me? Can you just show me who they are? And they're kind of teasing you lovingly, like, it's not quite that simple, but we could definitely be involved. And you're like, oh yeah, definitely be involved as much as you can be. Oh, and we also have the 8 of Swords. This also came out for another group. That kind of surprised me, group number 3. So you've got this sneaking little bit of work left. But the good news about the 8 of Swords is that it's very easily fixable. And look at the bottom of the deck, it's strength. You absolutely have the power to do this. An 8, repeating 8s here. I'm noticing 6, 7, 8. I feel like numerology and numerical patterns will be significant for you this month. So definitely look out for those as far as affirmations, kind of nods from angels and spirit guides, like, yes, we're here. Yes, you're on the right path. So I almost feel like I'm looking at a story here, the story of you. When you are entering into this energy, when you are interacting with people romantically again. So maybe it's been a while since you've decided to do this, but it feels very intentional when you decide to get back into it. So you feel like a very committed person. Some people might read you as intense. I don't think I do, but I'm also a Sagittarius, so it feels like you might be a fire sign. What I'm trying to say is, when you are in, you are all in. You're 150% in. You are either dating people and you're looking for your person, or you're not. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're just very passionate. You devote all of yourself, and there's just something so beautiful about that. And with the Fool here, you're just like, I'm ready for love. I am. And it's almost like you're declaring it to the universe and maybe even people around you in the month of February. And then as we move through your story, we find you here at the Six of Coins. You're sharing your energy. You give it so freely and you're getting it back. So this could be you're talking to supportive people in your life and they're so happy for you, or you are starting to go on a date and there's plenty of people signing up like, oh yeah, I would definitely, I don't feel like you have any trouble finding people who are wanting to speak with you. However, it could get a little tricky here with the Seven of Cups because there's a lot of options, okay? There's a lot of different types of people who are wanting to be in your energy, which I mean is almost intoxicating because you're just so full of life and you're ready to give what you have so freely. I mean, that's going to catch a lot of people's attention. But then over here in the Eight of Swords, there's this little challenge that's this little twinge that's coming up, an old twinge that you've had before, kind of like an old backache or something. Like, oh yeah, there's that. And it's the Eight of Swords, and it's this feeling of worthiness, or ooh, this could also, for some of you, be a tendency to settle back into an old story, to settle back into the same type of partner you've devoted so much of your life to already. And it feels like Spirit is saying, respectfully, no, we want better for you. We want to protect you from that, but we can't stop you from choosing it. So that's why they're showing it to us here on the table today. It's not so much a warning, it's saying, we want better for you. We want better for you. And if you are aware of this ahead of time, you're way less likely to do it again and find yourself in the same relationship with a new face. So I hope that's making sense for you. Okay, let's see what type of guidance you will have around you in the month of February for group number 3. Oh, the cards all kind of like splayed out. It was really strange. But I saw a flash of the Star Ancestor. Let's see, group number 3. Whoops, okay. Guidance we have for you. Medicine Guardian, be open to healing information. And Shaman, trust in higher forces. Yeah, you might need a cord cutting over here because we have psychic protection and the self-imprisonment card. This could just be an old cord or a self-limiting belief that a shaman could take care of with you, could work with you to help you release that. So if you're into like energy healing, energy medicine, do take a look at that. Of course, the shaman in general is about reclaiming your power, recalling your resources back to yourself. So that is something that you can do on your own. It just feels like maybe relationships have been tricky in the past. And I always say that it is helpful to be aware of your blind spots. I know I definitely have blind spots too, so no judgment here, trust me. And then with Medicine Guardian, yeah, I feel like we're healing old patterns. I just feel like you've done so much healing already. That's why you're so ready to leap into this. So maybe you've held yourself back for a while and you're like, I can't believe I've lasted this long. But it's like there's this knowing that it could happen again. But I feel like you're not so hard on yourself about it. It's just kind of like, I just feel like you're very reasonable about it. You're like, it's possible I could get into it with the wrong person again. I don't know, but I'd really prefer not to. And your spirit guides are definitely agreeing. Guardian angels are like, yeah, we don't want you to do that. We want to help you avoid that. Okay, so let's get some parting advice for you, group number 3. Parting advice for group number 3. I love your energy. If we're not friends already, can we be? Like, let me know. A new start is coming. Just straight up new moon. I love that because we have the full card here. Perfect. Absolutely. I feel like you are calling that new start in. It's not coming for you. It's like you're speaking it into existence, if that makes sense. And then we have show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. I believe we are in, aren't we in Aquarius season right now? And look at all this purple up here. So you might have a significant Aquarius placement. Also, when Aquarius is on the table, I always feel connected to friendship. So I feel like there's at least one or maybe a few friends in your life who really genuinely care for you, and who can absolutely lend a supportive ear and shoulder during this time when you are figuring all this out, choosing between all the options that you have. So definitely, if you feel comfortable with sharing, it just feels like there's some really helpful friends who want to be there for you this month. And lastly, we have for you, expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. And I just heard somebody say, that's exactly what I wanted to see. I want powerful change. Yeah, I feel like you are absolutely ready for it. And you have so much support in spirit. And I just feel like you're so self-aware, which is very beautiful and such a gift in relationships, truly, to be this self-aware. I feel like you're aware of your patterns, you're aware of your past and how it might repeat itself, and even if it does, it'll still be okay. It just, you're such an optimist at heart, and I so love that about you. Definitely, though, take a look at cord cutting or some type of energetic healing, like we talked about earlier. But this month is beautiful for you, group number 3. This is a new start in love. This is a brand new chapter. Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. Okay, so those are your messages. If you chose group number 3, I'm going to call this the gentle Labradorite heart. So if you chose the gentle heart, those were your messages. Thank you so much for watching. I am sending you tons of love and healing, supportive light, and I will see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye.